Well, welcome along to the Timeform Sporting Life Weekend Best Bet, although it really is a big race preview. David Ord in the company of Ben Linfoot and Matt Brocklebank to preview the Betfair Hurdle, one of the big betting races of this season. Scoop, breaking news just as we're about to record, we've got a late non-runner.
Yes, we have. It's the Ben Pauling trained horse, isn't
Tell her the name.
Tell her the name.
the name.
Tell him the name would have been more apt.
Yeah,
for that awkward
absolutely,
moment.
which means only a matter of time sneaks in at the bottom for Willie Mullins, owned by Paul Byrne, a horse who's got his quirks, but has been well back for this sort of race before. So an interesting one sneaking in at the bottom there.
He's got his quirks. He's got a Timeform squiggle as well. Let's look at the Timeform ratings for this race. Ben, as you would expect, it's tight with these ratings. Top of the shop, Iberico Lord with a P, 150p, but what's that, £3 all the way down. There's more on that list as well. You could have kept building that 147, 146 list. No surprises there?
Yeah, I mean, the Betfair Hurdle, renowned in the past for having top class horses in it, 150 plus, 160 plus rated horses. The top weight on Saturday is Lucia, who's rated 140, and it's really tight in behind her. Timeform ratings, £3 between 10 or 12 of them. So that means that it's surely got to be a good race for punters to try and unravel, because there's nothing standout that's progressing so quickly that they're going to go off a 3-1 shot, and that's good for the likes of me and Matt, who are going to try and crack it and get the winner.
Spoiler alert, the guys have got 2 selections each, which you'll be reading about in their columns as well. Matt, first video clue. We need to start with the Iberico Lord. Then he's top of the shop, 150p. This is him winning the Great Wood Hurdle at Cheltenham in the McManus Silks.
Yeah, cruised away behind here on the inside of the white cap. He's since gone up £8 for this win. He did come through and win fairly stylishly in the end. From Look Away, you mentioned obviously classy horses. He's the horse that subsequently got some grade 1 form in the book, having been placed in the Challow. But Iberico was really impressive this day, and I think the soft ground played a big part, and Nicky Henderson's doubled down on that factor in the week when speaking to him. Subsequently, this horse, the winner here of the Great Wood, has obviously got to bounce back from a run which was far lower than this, much lesser effort last time out at Ascot, which was on drying ground, good ground.
It's a strange race as well, wasn't it? The 4 that were finished 1, 2, 3, 4 all raced quite prominently that day. Not much got into it.
Ascot, yeah. Whether you can trust the form of that race. Obviously, Nicky Henderson did snare the top prize that day as well with Lucia, who comes here with a bit of a question mark around the ground of her. She has won on heavy ground, but I think there are some concerns, especially under the big weight for her. But yeah, Iberico Lord, strong contender. Slight question for me is whether Nico de Boinville's quite back to full strength yet. Obviously missed the time with the broken collarbone. Has only had 1 or 2 rides subsequently since coming back. So I'd be against him as well towards the top of the market.
Nick Luck podcast, it was revealed that de Boinville chose Iberico Lord. He had the pick of the entire Henderson crew, went for him. So let's look at the pace, Matt. It looks like a flock of birds, as it always does. Plenty wanted to go forward, sit in the middle, loads want to be held up. Heavy ground, how are you expecting this to be run?
Yeah, well, Timeform are forecasting a very strong pace, and it's no wonder really, because there are plenty of potential front runners in there. You see towards the right, you've got a cluster: Look Away, Ito Ditto, Knickerbocker Glory, and Norman Fletcher, who've all gone forward in the past. And we've seen in recent Betfair hurdles, there hasn't always been this really strong gallop, has there? Like last year, I think Orkin Risk that you tipped, Matt, sort of stole it a little bit on the front end, but you can't see that happening this year. And I do think that horses from the mid-division and potentially even the rear might come into this if they go hard in what's going to be really testing conditions.
Right, we're going to get through to the tips now. You've both got a couple. Matt, you're going to go first. It's a Rigny, pardon my pronunciation, Mill is the first of your selections. We've got video footage of him winning at Kempton at the Christmas meeting there. What's your case for this one? Yeah, I just identify him as well, so with the video replay.
This is Victor Dartnell's horse. Yeah, he's sort of coming through from the back in the sort of blue and white silks. He's a 7-year-old. I don't think that's a bad thing in this race. Obviously, we've got a couple of 5-year-olds and plenty of 6-year-olds, and just having a few more hairs on the chest in a race like this, given the conditions, could be a positive for this horse, because I don't think we saw the best of him last year. Dartnell's on record saying that he had bruised feet and had one or two issues, but this time around he's looked a different animal altogether. On the back of a comeback run at Sandown, he went and won really well at Wincanton, and here he followed up off a higher mark at Kempton, won easily. I mean, the handicappers hit him with £9 for that 7.5 length win. It could have been a stone in my view. I think he won really well. He does adjust ever so slightly to the right. He jumped right a little bit at Wincanton and again at Kempton, so a switch back to the left-handed track, maybe a question mark for him, but I just think he's one of those horses that's on a real upward trajectory. I think he'll handle the ground, and as Ben's touched on there, the strong gallop is really going to play to this horse's strengths. Dartnell's quite keen on him, I think, going left-handed around Newbury, which is a long straight, obviously, at Newbury, and if they do go strong, it's going to set up, hopefully, for a horse that's ridden a bit more patiently like him.
Got a video clue as well, Ben, for your selection. First up, anyway, here we go with Spirit Daniel winning at Sandown early December. What do you like about this?
Yeah, he's another, like Matt's tip, a hugely progressive horse, and he's gone up £10 himself for this win at Sandown last time. But this was in heavy ground. He'd previously won at the same track on heavy ground, and I just loved the way he travelled this day. He was too keen on his seasonal reappearance at Cheltenham when being beaten by Blue King Daru, but he certainly came on for the run, and the way he went through this race suggests to me that Gary Moore has got a horse that's progressing quickly through the grades, and he's done it before. Gary Moore, obviously in the Betfair Hurdle, we've seen him win it 3 times before, including with Wingman, who was third in this race that Spirit Danu won, and 63 days later came and won the Betfair Hurdle, and Spirit Danu's going to try and do the same thing. He has got a £10 height to deal with as well, but the ground conditions are going to be key on Saturday. I don't think too many are going to handle these heavy ground conditions, and Spirit Danu is definitely going to be one of them that does.
Going to move forward 6 days now for selection number 2, heading to Cheltenham on the 15th of December. Go Dante, the horse in question for Ollie Murphy. Go on, Scoop, watch this video, talk us through it and make the case for Go Dante on Saturday as well.
Yeah, well, Ollie Murphy is in terrific form. I think he's around a 38% strike rate the last 2 weeks. And Godante in the pink silts here at the head of the fairs. He got a win on the board in a good race. He makes a mistake at the last, and I love the way that he recovers to win. If you just watch him here, you've got Doddy the Great on the rail.
Panjari, the Nichols horse, has won since, hasn't he, in the pale cap? Yeah,
Panjari just to the right of Doddy the Great. There, you look like Godante's going to go backwards and perhaps finish 5th, but really knuckles down to put daylight between himself and the rest. And I thought that was a really encouraging sign, to be honest. Panjari, like Matt says, has gone in again since. He's not the only one, because Donica in 4th had won since as well. So it looks really good form. And I just think Ollie Murphy has found the key to Godante now. He's only gone up £4 for that, which is perhaps unusual for a good Cheltenham handicap that's working out well. And he's by Cave Tara, whose progeny absolutely love heavy ground. I don't think Godante's going to have any problem with the ground conditions whatsoever. And for a stable that's flying at 25-1, I thought he was overpriced.
So Spirit Danu and Go Dante, the 2 bets for Ben. Matt, we've got your first selection in the bank already with Origny Mill. Your second selection was actually just in 4th in that race we just watched there.
He was beaten. He wasn't beaten far, was he? He was beaten a length and 3/4. He's £2 better off with Go Dante. So
Donica, this horse, just to be clear.
Donica, yeah, Nigel Hawkes' horse. I think, again, another yard that is just being underestimated in a race like this. And if you look at it, obviously before the reserve got in, he snuck in as the last horse on the list to get in off their proper mark. He's gone up a couple of pounds. He's since won, after the Cheltenham run, he's since won quite nicely at Warwick. He just shows a really good attitude. I think he's actually from the same family as an Irish Grand National winner, General Principle. So stamina is going to be his forte in the long run. But to think that what he's doing over 2 miles currently, it bodes really well for him going into a strong test like this. He will be ridden a little bit more prominently, I think, than my original selection, Origny Mill. But I don't mind having one sort of more towards the front and one at the back as well if it pans out that way. But I really like his attitude. I think he's progressive. I think Nigel Hawkes found the key to him now, and I think there's a fair bit more to come from him. Whether it's over 2.5 miles later in the season, we'll see, but this is going to be a test, and I think Donica's up to it.
Should point out, you've both got a good tipping heritage in this Betfair Hurdle. Matt put up last year's winner. Scoot, you've had plenty over the years in this.
Good race, isn't it?
It's a great race, yeah. I mean, there aren't too many throughout the jump season where you get 24 runners to have a go at, and it's a really good betting race, and yeah, hopefully one of us can get the winner again Saturday.
There you go. There's the 4 selections from the guys for the Betfair Hurdle. It means there's 21 running against them. Good luck with whichever one you select, and fingers crossed it promises to be another fantastic renewal, one of the big handicap hurdles of the season.